guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Game, and Stuffy Mountain Twitter the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia, Nate's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm saying you were up, and let's go. Alright. Aren't they supposed to be patrolling campus and keeping us safe? That's true, but our officers can only do so much. We're implementing this curfew to ensure the safety of all of our students.
But what if we go home on weekends?
Sam turns to address the doe who asked the question. You'll be required to fill out a form requesting permission to do so. The crowd starts to murmur again. Oh, isn't this a little extreme?
I thought this was a school, not a prison. Can you guys calm down, please? He's trying to speak. If you don't care about your safety, then go right ahead and get killed.
Clearly losing his patience, Sam speaks into the megaphone. Let's stay focused, everyone. Chris slips in and whispers something into Sam's ear. We'll be sending an email to all students with the details of the new curfew. Now let's go over some of your guidelines and suggestions. Sam continues on for another 10 or so minutes before letting us go. 7 of us regroup in the hall outside the lounge.
I had no idea it was getting this bad.
Same.
It's like a nightmare I can't wake up from. Would you like to talk about this later, doll?
Karina meekly nods her head. Zach, on the other hand, merely stares out the nearby window.
How you feeling, Zach?
He continues to stare, seemingly lost in his own head. Man, he's definitely been out of it lately. Ah, there you guys are. Sorry I couldn't be with you here. In there. No worries, bro, it's all good.
Shay, what are you doing here? I'm just hanging out with my roomie. Everyone said they considered me an honorary member of the group.
They did. Chris does his best to play dumb given current company, but I can tell he's happy to hear it.
So you want us to stay in our rooms for the time being, huh?
It's not just me. The school wants you to, too. After what happened yesterday, I think it's for the best. Wait a minute. That tone he's using suggests... Did you ask the administration to do this?
Gah!
Oh, Chris. We're all adults, you know. We don't need you to micromanaging our every move. I agree with Ben. We shouldn't be punished for something outside of our control.
Don't think of it as a punishment. Think of it as a way to focus on your studies.
Great, exactly what I was looking for. That's the spirit, Bryan. As usual, sarcasm seems to go right over the Aussie's head.
Did you really push for a curfew, Chris?
Chris's girlfriend chimes in with a surprisingly pointed question.
It wasn't just me. Layla, Sam, Elwin, Rootfee, and Kimberly have all suggested something similar over the past month.
He lists off a bunch of names that I mostly have no connection to.
If you really think it's for the best.
This is stupid. When the dragon speaks, we all turn to him in surprise. If you think the curfew is going to stop the killer, you're a fool. What about the townsfolk? Just because we're safe doesn't mean they are.
Zach, what's gotten into you?
I stare at my hooded friend, shocked by his sudden outburst. Sorry. I'm going back to my room. He turns tail and starts speed walking towards the stairwell. Zach, hold on. I try calling out to him, but it's no use. Oh, yeah. He's already climbing the steps. When I turn back, all I'm greeted with is the stunned faces of my friends.
I hope he's okay.
Poor guy. Seems like it's starting to get to him.
I didn't mean for things to go this way.
I hold a hand up and feign a smile. It's not your fault, Chris. You're just doing what you think is right. Zach has a somewhat peculiar worldview. Don't take it personally. Knowing that if I don't talk to him soon, he might disappear again, I turn to start walking for the stairwell, too. I'll see everyone later. I'm going to go check in on him. I wave to them as they all say goodbye to me as a group. Good luck, Ben. My ears tingle when a strangely unfamiliar voice reaches them. When I look over my shoulder, I see they're all back to discussing the curfew with Chris. Huh. Wonder who that was. I gently close the door behind me and scan the room. Sure enough, my wayward roommate sits at his desk, staring up at the wall. Glad he hasn't run off somewhere yet. Hey! He shifts his gaze towards me. Hey! I pull up my chair and sit beside him at his desk. Is everything alright, man? You've been more on edge than usual lately.
It's nothing. You wouldn't understand. You never do.
What do you mean by that? I raise an eyebrow, perplexed by his statement. His voice cracks. He's clearly having a hard time right now. Zach, I'm your roommate and your friend. You don't have to be so guarded around me. Just be patient, explain to me whatever's going on with you, and I promise I won't judge.
You won't?
I put a hand over my heart. I promise.
Okay, then.
With a shaky hand, he opens his drawer and pulls out that one journal. The letters VG are artfully arranged into what looks like a shield shape on the cover. Very carefully, Zach flips to a specific page without letting me see any of the earlier pages. He then places the open book on the desk.
I've been keeping tabs on the killer for almost half a year.
Ah, I'm finally getting an explanation for the things I saw way back when. You are? Sorry, I said I wouldn't do what I just did, didn't I?
I know it's stupid, but...
You want to catch him?
He sheepishly nods his head. There has to be some pattern, some sort of clue that could help the authorities catch him. I just need more information.
I do my best to give him a reassuring smile. Hey, sounds to me like you're doing more for this case than most people would.
You think so?
Yeah. I flip a couple pages in the journal. One second. I know you. You're a very meticulous person. If anyone's going to figure something out on this guy, it'll probably be you.
I hope so.
He puts a hand up to his forehead.
I don't know how much more of this I can take, though.
Let out an empathetic sigh and wrap an arm around his shoulder. I know you mean well, but you're acting like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. He goes quiet, but doesn't try to escape my hold on him. I think I see why you've been so on edge lately. It's not your responsibility to save everyone, Zach. Again, he doesn't answer. Maybe you should take some time off from the case. I'm sure you have some video games or something that could use your attention, right? Still nothing. Come on, Ben, you gotta think of something. Ah, that's right. Forgot to tell you this. Finally, something that catches his attention. I push my seat back and pull out my phone. You've been gone so much I haven't had the chance to tell you. I tried contacting Russell again.
You did?
I nod my head. Yeah. I started thinking about what you said that day, and I thought maybe there's a chance I could be wrong. For some reason, this puts a smile on his face. Well, anyway, I gave him a call, but he didn't answer.
Oh.
Then he sent me this text. I hand the phone to him.
Russell.
I tried, but I guess he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. He stares at the phone for a moment, then looks up at me.
Thanks for trying, Ben. I think it'll mean a lot to him.
I scratch behind my ear and look off to the side. I had to talk with someone the other day about him, too, and I guess it gave me a little more perspective on the whole situation. I feel this weird pang in my chest. If only I could talk to Russell one more time. All I want are answers. His side of the story.
I'm sure he'll come around eventually if you keep trying.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. He goes quiet again. We both stare up at the ceiling. Yeah? His voice quivers, suggesting he's nervous about something.
I haven't told you yet, but my birthday's coming up in a few days.
Oh, really? When is it?
October 3rd.
Wednesday, huh? Well, happy early birthday, then.
Thanks.
He seems kind of bashful right now.
My parents want me home to celebrate. Would you like to come?
I widen my eyes at the unexpected offer. Really?
Yeah.
Sure thing, dude. If that's what you want, I'll totally be there.
Thanks, Ben.
It's funny. Me bringing up Russell really seemed to lighten the mood. I hope he's gonna put this whole junior detective thing to rest now. He's got more than enough to worry about with his schoolwork, after all. As the conversation eventually fades, I return to my side of the room. We both end up doing our own individual activities for the rest of the day. When I look over my shoulder occasionally, I see Zach plugging away at an old turn-based role-playing game. I remember my dad used to be a big fan of those Japanese ones when I was a kid. I hope Zach stays this way for a bit. At least until they catch the killer. He didn't seem too thrilled with the curfew, and given his habit of staying out late without telling anyone... October 1st, 2018. I finished handing out the last copy of this month's edition of the school newspaper to the group. The sound of quiet whispers and rustling papers fills the room for a moment that seems to drag on forever. I'd like to think I take criticism well. Constructive criticism, that is. But waiting for everyone to finish reading is agonizing. Unsurprisingly, the first to finish reading is Nate, and he raises his head with a satisfied look.
Ben, this is...
Before he can finish what he's saying, the Aussie interjects.
This is really good, Ben.
I know you do great. This is so exciting. One of my mentees is now a published journalist. Chris is positively vibrating with enthusiasm. His tail swishes left to right, back and forth at a frenetic pace. It's just a school newspaper. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, I think it's fantastic. You captured what the drama club is about so well, and you had shined a light on all of us, even with the limited space you had. I think only a real journalist would be able to write something like this so succinctly.
He finishes his praise with a wink that makes my cheeks burn. I'm sure he's just saying that because we're together. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. A thunderous blow to my back slaps the wind out of me.
Listen to them, Ben.
She pulls me in close with an arm around my neck.
With an article like that, my Benny boy is on his way to becoming a journalist, just like his dad before him.
I was thanking them.
I know you're just being humble.
This is kick-ass, bro. Credit where credit is due. I don't think my article was bad, but I can tell you had a lot of fun with yours. Guess one of those theater chicks got her claws on you. I'm too busy being choked by Karina to retort, but I can see Nate smirking at his joke.
Why am I always in this position?
Since we're on the topic of the play, the fox digs into his backpack, talking as he searches for something.
I figured you all might be interested in checking it out.
He pulls out an envelope.
There we go.
Nate hands out tickets to each of us, much like I did with the newspapers.
Ta-da! You're all invited.
One second now. Alright.
Oh my god! Thank you so much, Nate! I'll be there for sure. You have no idea how cool it is to be personally invited by a cast member. Oh, you flatter me.
Carlos speaks up from his seat behind us. I don't think I can make it. Ah, figures. If anyone was going to skip out on the fun, it had to be Carlos. Though to be fair, I can't really imagine such a grouchy guy at a theater. I'll be there if I have to, but I have a major project due that week. Nate brushes away his concerns with a wave of his hand.
Don't worry, darling. There's no bad blood if you can't be there. If it's not your thing, then don't force yourself.
Carlos looks down at the ticket for a moment. I'm sorry. You're lost, Tiger. It sounds like it's gonna be sick. The tiger shrugs back, unfazed. I never took you for a theater guy, Brian. You kidding? If something's happening on stage, you bet I'll be there to enjoy myself. Besides, theater guys, they're always cute. You're nothing if not consistent. He isn't wrong about the last part, though. Nate is one of the cutest guys I've ever met. He's my boyfriend. Ah, shit, wait a sec. It's that week, huh? I've got a retreat scheduled with my team, and we leave that Friday. Damn, I'm sorry, man. I'll catch the next one for sure.
It's fine, really. I appreciate the honesty.
I always am. Alright, y'all. I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.